Hello, my name is Jaime Fiddler, and I'm here with Reva Joshee. Together, we are co-chairs of the Mahatma Gandhi Canadian Foundation for World Peace, located in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we are delighted to share a little bit of information about the Season for Nonviolence, which starts today, January 30th.
So actually, the first day when I thought I've always said it started on the 30th as well, but when I looked at the calendar that the folks from the Gandhi Institute distribute, they actually have the first day starting on January 31st, so that it can be 64 days because the 60
Oh,
very significant. So tomorrow will officially be the first day of the Season for Nonviolence. And this is something that was started, I believe, in the late 1990s by Arun Gandhi, who is one of Mahatma Gandhi's grandsons, and other folks that he was working with to provide a way for people to think about the practices of nonviolence in, now this is my words, not his, but in bite-sized pieces. So the idea being that nonviolence can be this really big notion that people feel like it can be intimidating and that I can't do that. There's too much there. And so they broke it down into these 64 practices. And the reason for having it from January 30th to April 4th is because January 30th is the anniversary of the death of Mahatma Gandhi, and April 4th is the anniversary of the death of Martin Luther King Jr. And so between those two dates, the notion was that all of us can take that time, those 64 days, to practice and learn about nonviolence.
yes, and I was just thinking as you were sharing there, when I first heard about the Season for Nonviolence, and it was several years ago now, when I was the education coordinator for the Gandhi Foundation. Board member Colleen Ring introduced me to the Season for Nonviolence, and we started to create some daily pages that would go on the Gandhi Foundation website. And as I got to know the practices, I found them really inspiring because I really like that some of them have a very inward focus and are very grounding and allow for that individual practice. And then there's also some practices that encourage us to look outwards and to, um, create a more nonviolent community around us. Uh, yeah, and so even if all we do on some of the days of Season for Nonviolence is reflect, then I think that's still a wonderful way to cultivate a spirit of nonviolence.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you. And I think actually Colleen introduced me to the Season for Nonviolence as well. We're so lucky that she has been with us and been part of this. And one of the things I think she contributed was to bring together educational material so that with each of these practices, there are ways to work with young students, there are ways to work with youth, there are ways that adults can express themselves in these practices as well. And I love the fact that there are things that are simple, like smiling, and there are things that make you think a little bit more, like honor. How do you honor the people who make all the things that make it possible for you to live so comfortably in this life? And so I think there's that range of complexity, but there's also ways that it can be made uh, relevant to people
Mhm.
who of all ages and wherever you are.
Mhm.
So I think it's a wonderful time to kind of bring this together and think about these ideas. And I noticed the other day as I was doing some online research that there's an online pledge you can take as well, a pledge to be more nonviolent and think about what that means. So I'd encourage anybody who's listening to us to go online to the Gandhi Institute, which is an organization Arun Gandhi is involved with, and find their pledge for nonviolence and sign up.
I'll put that link on our website as well. If folks are Googling the Season for Nonviolence, they'll find our webpage and the daily practices that we've created. And also, Colleen, who manages our Facebook page, will also be putting out some daily practices on Facebook. And the messages she creates on Facebook are really beautiful and inspiring. So yeah, so it sounds like there'll be a few ways for people to get involved. And we're also thinking about adding some other events that people can attend throughout the season to our social media pages. And we can list them on our webpage as well, so that yeah, people can find a little bit of community even in these COVID times.
Yeah, and I was just thinking it'd be really nice if somebody is listening to this right now, watching us right now, and they feel like they want to contribute something, that we'd really welcome it. We're going to have, through the 64 days, we'll have a few little videos from people with messages about nonviolence, and so it'd be great to have whatever messages people want to send to us, and we can include those as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great idea. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to participating in the Season for Nonviolence and to getting to know some of you through your messages as well.
Yeah.
So
Just want to thank everybody who is out there, and wish you peace and compassion as we go forward.